I titled this video, Stop Trying to Practice Acceptance, because this is a mistake that I see so many people making, and one I used to make myself, quite frankly. And once this is realized, it makes the whole acceptance thing, you could say, a whole lot easier. True acceptance isn't a practice. It's not something that we actually do or that we can do with our thoughts or our thinking. It's actually the end of something. It's the end of the resistance. And what is the resistance? It's identification with mind activity. It's the end of listening to and believing in a story in your mind that says, I don't like this. I say no to this situation, and this bodily contraction that goes along with it, right? When you truly accept, you don't walk around going, I accept this now, I accept this now, I surrender in your head the whole time, do you? But when you're resisting, you do spend a lot of time with your attention on the mind activity that says, I don't like this, I don't like this, how do I escape this? I must figure this out, this shouldn't be happening. And then we're trying to solve the problem from the same level that it was created. It exists on the level of thinking, and then we try to use thinking to solve it. But thinking was the problem in the first place. When we swap resisting thoughts out for accepting ones or feel-good thoughts, it, yes, might feel good for a minute. And I'm not saying it isn't helpful. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have a general attitude of acceptance on the level of the mind and have thoughts about it. But we all know that the mind quickly comes back in with its negative commentary. And you're walking around secretly still thinking that your life situation is bad or isn't good enough, whilst trying to brute force yourself to feel good and to tell yourself a feel-good story about everything, and it often doesn't work, or the negativity and the resistance seems to creep in through the back door again. True acceptance isn't a practice or a skill or something that you even have to do as such. It's actually your nature. It's actually how things naturally are, prior to this story in your mind that says, this is unacceptable. It's who you are before that story. It's this space of awareness that you are. And notice that this space of awareness already is accepting. If you're not thinking about the apparent problem and identifying with that story in your mind that says there's a problem, well, where's the problem? Where is any need to accept or not accept? It just is. Everything just is. Whatever's happening is happening in this space of awareness. And this space of awareness naturally accepts everything that flows in and out of it. It doesn't need to accept or surrender or let go because it's not holding on to anything in the first place. Acceptance is its natural state. The resistance is in the mind activity. It's in the thinking. It's in these thoughts that say, this is unacceptable, this isn't right, this shouldn't be happening, I don't like this, I feel anxious about it all. True acceptance is divesting your belief in that story and remaining knowingly as this aware consciousness that you are. And then acceptance is happening naturally. It just is. It all just is. And notice that from here, you can still take action to change your situation. You can still draw boundaries with people, and you can still remove yourself from a situation if the situation calls for it. But gone is this internal resistance to it. Gone is this notion that your power is in resisting and staying anxious and angry and thinking about it all on loop forever in desperation. And you see that your true power is in dropping that. and being this open, aware consciousness that you are, and letting the next idea just pop in out of nowhere, because that's when all the great ideas to change a situation pop in, right? When you're sitting on a toilet, when you're in the shower or driving down the motorway, basically when you're not desperately thinking and trying to figure it all out and internally resisting the situation. Of course, thinking is good sometimes, but it's just a tool. It's when you haven't got your attention contracted down and focused onto thoughts in your mind and tensing your body in readiness like you're in some kind of immediate danger, and instead zooming out, allowing the attention to expand back outwards and taking in the full view. Just remaining as this open space of aware consciousness, just being knowingly. You are aware, you are this awareness. You're not that character in your thinking to which something terrible is going to happen to. That's a mental story. That's a particular lens. And the lens always changes, right? The things in the past you thought would be so bad and so terrible ended up being the things that you needed for your growth, right? They ended up being the lessons that you needed to learn. They opened you up in some way. So why couldn't it be the case now? What if the mind is just telling us a scary story about what's happening right now, but from a higher perspective, all is well. All is well. You're just experiencing a challenge, maybe a big challenge. Maybe you have some things to work out. Maybe you have a lot of action to take to change this situation. Maybe there are things happening in your world that you don't accept and you want to do something to change the situation, and that's okay. But start from a place of inner acceptance by knowing yourself as this aware consciousness that you are, this already accepting space of awareness, this peace that your whole life flows through. And that concludes the video. I really hope this video helped. See you in the next one. And down in the description is a link to a free guided breathwork session that I made for you, and to speaktoalex.com, which is where you go if you want to apply for the free one-to-one with me or one of my team to see if you'd be a good fit for the Awake and Aware program, a science and non-duality informed program to help you discover inner peace, overcome fear, get into flow, and create the things that you want to create in your life. Love you all. I appreciate you. See you in the next video. Peace.